Hey everyone, hope you're doing well. This is the deep dive. My name's Drew Creekmur. I'm the Director of Advisory Services here at Creekmur Wealth. And I'm joined as always by John Creekmur, our founder and senior wealth advisor. And John, we are getting here to the middle or the start of April, middle of April. And it's crazy how fast the first quarter flew by. But it's great to have some sunshine and good weather coming our way. And today we're going to talk about everyone's favorite topic. I say that tongue in cheek, but we're going to talk about some taxes and how to keep more money in your pockets. But John, before we do that, how you doing? What's been going on?
Let's do it. I am behind the eight ball on my taxes getting done. It seems like we get more and more complex every year, and more deals waiting to get done, K1s and all that crazy stuff. And so I'm just trying to get all my paperwork together and get all this stuff in and answer questions the way I need to. But that's kind of been the story of my life here recently.
Let's say it's one of those things. It's always a heavy lift, but you got to get done and get done right. So
For sure.
it's one of those things to walk through. Well, John, we want to talk about first of all the difference between tax planning and tax preparation. This is something we've talked about here on the deep dive before, so I want you to walk through that here in a second. But then we want to talk about the importance of tax planning and how important it is to keep more of your money in your pockets. And there are strategies and things that you can do through tax planning. But before we hop into that, John, why don't you walk through what is the difference between tax planning and tax preparation?
Yeah, huge difference. And so tax preparation is what we all do every April 15th. And so that is actually taking a history of the past and going on and revisiting history and what happened in the previous calendar year, as far as our income and our expenses, and as far as the things we can deduct and the things that we did, even the decisions that we made as far as let's say a 401k contribution, or maybe a decision as far as on some itemization and some charitable giving. So we're simply taking that information and we are preparing a document and giving it to the IRS as simply a recording of history of what happened in the past. There's really no benefit in tax preparation other than you comply with what's required by the law. Tax planning, on the other side, is where you look ahead and you say, based upon my circumstance, based upon where I'm at, based on all my assets, my liabilities, and the objectives that we have as a taxpayer, as an individual, what are some things that we can do that keep us within the bounds of the law? So we're very legal, but what are things that we can do to actually decrease taxes? And Drew, there are two different ways of going through tax planning. One's called micro. And so that is where you're working upon the small things or the most things that are closest to you. So, in other words, the micro tax plan is how do I decrease my taxes in this current tax year? Macro tax planning is bigger picture. It says, how do I decrease the overall taxes I pay over my lifetime? So tax preparation is simply recording of history, whereas tax planning is going through and saying, what decisions can we make to actually help us decrease taxation, either for this year or also over our lifetime?
Yeah, great explanation, John. And you know what we do for our clients, we really do that tax planning aspect. We're looking at the big picture as it relates to your overall financial goals, all of your resources, and we have a number of strategies. John, I think about 120 of them that we've developed to actually help people keep more of their money in their pockets. Now, John, one of the biggest things whenever we do surveys and talk to clients we've heard about over the last number of years, they really like for us to do more of is one, more tax planning, but two, to couple that with tax preparation. And so, can you kind of walk through what we have been working on and just where we're at with both of those today?
We've gotten such great feedback from our clients and so appreciate that. And thank you for getting that to us all the time, continuously. And really, it's about how do we bring everything together. And so, people have realized that they could be making the absolute best tax decision, but maybe it's a bad investment decision. Or maybe they're making a great estate decision, but it hurts them as far as the taxes. So, what we really are wanting to do with our clients, and this is coming from feedback from our clients, is saying, how do we integrate everything together? And a big piece out of that was not just doing tax planning. And what we've done on that, Drew, we've actually acquired a firm down in Roanoke, Virginia, here in the first quarter of this year that does tax planning. We actually extended a relationship with a high-end tax planner that specializes with highly appreciated assets based in Minneapolis. And then on top of that, we've also signed a contract with a nationwide tax consulting firm that has a network of CPAs and enrolled agents all across the country for us to actually do more in-depth tax planning. And then on top of that, we have such great feedback from our clients that are saying their tax preparation, even on their self-preparation, using a tool like Quicken or QuickBooks or whatever it might be, TurboTax, that they've actually found mistakes inside the software to where they were not taxing at all on anybody's Social Security benefits even so in other words, underreporting, which you're responsible
Yeah.
for that, even though the software was written to recognize that. So we found a lot of mistakes on the also the out of the box softwares. And so we have a lot of clients that are asking us to come alongside them and say, actually do tax preparation for them. So, Drew, in that regard, what we've done is I mentioned the network of CPAs and enrolled agents across the country that we now have at our disposal. Is that all of our clients in all 50 states, we actually have access to be able to have taxes done, run through our office, but where we have outsourced CPAs and enrolled agents that actually do the tax preparation. And the reason why this is critical, it allows us with your advisors to actually sit down, make sure everything's coordinated together, look at the tax planning recommendations and make sure things are executed properly. So, Drew, bringing that together all in one holistic package, that actually we're just kind of rolling out here April 1st of this year as far as for tax preparation for tax year 2025.
Yeah, yeah, it's a new offering that I'm sure all of your advisors will be speaking with you about and walking through the pros and the benefits of that, and just kind of what the next steps look like. So, whenever you're talking with your advisor, if they don't bring it up, definitely ask them about it. They're fully briefed on the program. And John, the combination of the tax planning with the tax preparation under one roof, we believe it's going to be a very powerful combination where we're going to be able to work together as a team to really help have some amazing results for clients. And some of the test cases that we've done here in the last couple of months, the results that we have seen have been, quite honestly, very, very impressive, and gone a long way to helping clients keep more money in their pockets. And so, John, as we wrap up here, what's just one thought that you want everyone to have in the front of their mind this week?
It's one of these things as far as on taxes that you want to make sure that we do everything we can do to make sure that you're legally compliant with what's required. But we need to keep in mind the Internal Revenue Code is actually written in such a way that we all have lots of choices to make and trade offs that we can go through to decrease our taxes. It is a matter of making legal decisions and helping people be able to navigate through the code so that they're actually better positioned to accomplish their goal objectives. Drew, we always say all the time we want to help people accomplish what they want to accomplish, to be where they want to be, when they want to be there. And there's all these different things that are warring against them actually accomplishing that. And one of them is proper tax preparation and proper tax planning. And so bring it all together, we know our clients will be in a much better position and really eager to see how things play out. Folks, keep in mind that the tax code that was changed back in 2017, it was retroactive back to 2016. There was a 10-year window on that. So in 2025, that will be going away. Drew, we actually completed about 3 returns for clients based upon their 2024 numbers. And we used the tax law from 2017 and said if they had the exact same income and expense numbers they had in 2024, but instead they have it in 2026, we were seeing about a 30% increase in total taxes paid. So, folks, we know there's going to be tax law changes between now and the end of the year. You want to make sure that we have a strong tax plan in place that's going to be adaptable for whatever's happening along the way. And so it's all about planning and making sure you communicate with your advisors.
Awesome. John, really appreciate that. Guys, if you have any questions about our new tax system, definitely reach out to your advisor or respond in this email or give our office a call. Our team is standing by and ready to help address this really important issue for each and every one of you. So thanks for the time, y'all, and we'll talk to you soon.